Okay, folks, welcome to yet another daily dose of swipe. Yesterday we were breaking down the follow-up email from oJoy.ai, which is I don't know owned by Frank Kern, one of the greatest marketer alive. Uh, Probably I don't know. It might belong to him. It might not. I don't know about that stuff. Oh, so I've discussed the funnel and discussed the environment of the whole copy, the market sophistication, and the market awareness, and all sorts of stuff like that in the last email itself. So today I'm just gonna complete the funnel. Yesterday, they directed me to somewhere, right? This was a sales page that they directed to me, and this was specially made for just those people who would not, who would make an account but would not, purchase the software. Purchase the AI, oJoy.ai. And okay, so if you're new to this channel, my name is Samir. I don't have anything to do with your name. My name does not it's not necessary to know what I do, but if you're watching this, you're probably a copywriter or a marketer or somebody who has something to do with this field, right? And you're probably watching this because you want to, extract the principles of of your competitors and the industry leaders and see what they're, using in their sales assets, and so that you can implement into yours, so that you can synthesize and implement into yours so that you make hell of a lot more money. And what we do here is break down long form, short form, all sorts of copy. Right now, we're just breaking down emails and stuff because you have to do the bare minimum. I hope you know it. You're doing the bare minimum by watching this video. I'm doing the bare minimum by like breaking down normal stuff and just keeping myself, up to date. Let's say keeping myself in the marketing mentality. I'm not gonna go in depth like I did in the last video, and I'm not gonna even watch the VSL itself. I need to make sure if it's recording. Okay, so it's recording. So yeah, I'm just gonna go about the copy in the page and why it is what it is, and I'm gonna validate my point and tie it all back to the funnel yesterday I discussed yesterday, and the principles and the lessons I mentioned in the last video. That's what you should. If you're watching this, it's better to watch the last one because I covered it in depth. This part we're just gonna break down the copy elements only, not other not the underlying principles and the bigger, like the grand scheme of things and the whole like campaign as a whole. So as I repeat, I'm getting this email because I signed up for oJoy.ai with my email, but I did not purchase it. So this is like a follow-up or abandoned cart sequence, or let's say abandoned cart funnel, because I'm getting funneled into this page, right? So AI tools write lame copy, they're hard to use. It's easy and good. See how simple it is, right? Simplicity rocks. AI tools, they are bad, this is good. Like how, like complete, like we in the whole copywriting space or marketing space here that you should write in a way that even a third grader understands. And this is this is the preach the practice sorry this is the preach in practice done by the great man himself. I don't know if he wrote it. He probably did not. He probably got his AI to write it. What is this replay and finish setting up your account? Now this is reframing and tying and reframing back to the whole point as of why I'm getting this and why I'm in this on this page is because I did not sign up, right? I was directed to the, by the way, how I got into this funnel is, there was I am in Frank Kern's social like school group. He has like all of his resources inside the school community, meaning like all of the every on all, across all social media, he funnels the traffic into his free school community where he has all sorts of bunch of free resources, and he does like daily, or I don't know, weekly, bi-weekly, let's say weekly webinars about writing good copy with his new softwares and new AI and stuff like that. So I clicked on one of his emails from the school community post, and I read the whole thing, and I went and I googled oJoy.ai, and I signed up for it. So this is how I end up. So I'm getting the asking me to replay and watch this again is because this was the webinar. This was the actual webinar, the email that took me to the webinar, or let's say it took me to the recording, the replay of the webinar rather than the webinar itself. And after that, I knew about it. Okay, watch this replay and finish setting up your account. So see, like it's trying to build up on the pre-existing momentum. So okay, you took action. I took action of sign. I took the action of of signing up, but I did not take the further action, any further actions and setting up my complete account. So I am in the process, and people do not like open loops, right? It's sort of an open loop. People do not like that, and they try to fill it up. For example, there's all sorts of like these movies have dramas and open loop, right? This guy who you thought was a friend, like he tries to backstab one of the guys you like in the show, for example, right? And that is where the episode ends, right? So now you have an open loop. Now what could be the case? Like what could be the damn case, right? What's gonna happen next? Like you have an open loop, your brain goes haywire. It has to complete that loop because next is your brain does not know, cannot tell the difference between perceived reality and actual reality. So it has to fill that gap, the information gap, and that is why you binge on TV series. There's a reason you do that. Okay, so that is the whole psychological element this is targeting. You created an account but never took the trial. Okay, again, this is going back to the whole point. Know how to do X in Y days without Z constraint or your money back. No, like that is off for a headline. We don't have to use it everywhere. People try to people they mistake that for everything. Watch this replay and let's get started. Now I'm not gonna watch the webinar. It's probably gonna teach me how to write cool stuff with AI, as you can see. Good old Wistia. I don't know what's it. Okay, Wistia. Grow VSL from Wistia. People just love it because it's easy to use. Here's what makes it work. Just 3 steps. Yeah. So whenever you're trying to give people value, or let's say your front end offers that are going to cold traffic, you need to like increase the value proposition. It is simple, right? This is simple because this is different. This is SaaS copy, and like for newsletter promos or something like that, or for certain types of product, you have to increase the value proposition, meaning as many steps you write, like let's say 35 steps, people are gonna get overwhelmed. Oh, there's so much to this, I could never figure it out, right? Rather than just front end promos, just do that in your YouTube videos or something like that. If you're teaching like somebody how to do something, for example, if you're teaching somebody how to do Google ads, like make a 35 steps to crafting a Google ad or something like that. People are gonna get so much overwhelmed, and people are gonna think, oh, there's so much to it, I'd rather not learn it, I'd rather like hire this guy, something like that. But here, like the opposite is happening. Like you should not try to complicate the matter. So this is the whole thing that I want to talk about. You need to know the traffic. You need to know who you're talking to. He's talking to a marketer. Now marketer and copywriter, they have the like least amount of attention span because despite being in this field themselves, right? And they do not want to get overwhelmed because there's so much more to learn already. Like entrepreneurs, like they have too much to learn. They have product to focus on, they have marketing to focus on, they have sales management to do, all sorts of stuff. Like, and if you like present more, they're not gonna consume it. It's not that their attention span is non-existent. Of course, like without a good attention span and focus, no way in the world are you gonna build anything worth anything that's good, right? But so you try to compress everything, all of it, into tiny steps so that you can acquire these customers, these type of. So that's why like you need to know your traffic. That is the most important stuff. Your copy is just the bridge between your product and your prospect. No more, no less. All you have to do is not fuck up. You also, meaning like you have to know your product and you have to know your prospect deeply. So these are what you should focus on first of all, rather than craft coming up with the best word you can find or something like that. If you know the underlying problems and if you know your underlying problems of the prospect and you know understand them in depth, and if you know your product and what type of problem it solves and what are its features that's going to help them, wow, this swag. Anyways, what type of problem it can help solve and how it can solve the underlying problems that you first like found out, see, like, and that is all you have to communicate. Not much more, there's not much to it. But there's something voodoo to it, right? People think like there's so much to this, and that's why like people can sell you courses on it. But all in all, it just ties back to your own thing. It's not that you should not buy courses. If it's valuable, yeah, you should. Maybe like email list management or something that's complementary to what you do. But courses on doing copywriting itself and learning, eh, you can just learn it by handwriting. But coaching, I'm not talking about coaching in the by the way. I'm only talking about courses. But coaching is important because if somebody's been in a certain field and if let's say they've been in the direct response field and have sold over 20 million worth of products with their own copy that's directly attributable to them, then it makes sense. Then you should you get coached by them rather than buying courses and stuff like that. You should get your copy chiefed by them and stuff like that. But courses, and no, I don't think so. Marketing, yeah, cohorts, yeah, product market fit is what I'm trying to talk about. But that is kind of irrelevant. My whole point for this is you need to compress it because you need to know, and you need to know who you're targeting, so that you don't have to keep it fancy. These are business owners. Like, you have to get straight to the point. General public, you're either you are. I learned this from Jeremy Haynes. I had this concept in my head pre-exist it pre-existed in my head, but Jeremy helped solidify it, meaning like there are two types of market: market, general public, right, common folks. The third is affluent traffic, affluent people, meaning like the wealthy one, right? These guys just want it fast, just give it to me straight, right? You need to know who you're targeting or what your prospect lies in this case, rich folks, right? It's 39 fucking bucks. Who needs much more than that? But SaaS is a different game because SaaS is accessible to all sorts of people. It's not high ticket. Let's not go into the nuances, because if we start talking about the nuances, the video is gonna get too fucking long. We could like say this: what if this happens in this specific case or something like that. Yeah. People love this because it's easy to use. People love this, meaning like people have already started using it. So this is some form of social proof. Here's what it makes it work. Just 3 steps. Yeah, simple. As I said, it all ties back to simplicity, because the audience, right? You don't have to worry about prompting, figuring out what to say, or trying to get it right. So this is the objection. I don't know how to prompt. I don't know what the hell GPT is. I don't know what words to use, right? You like there's voodoo to it as well. Now you can sell courses on prompts. People think like there's like voodoo tactics that you need. Like if you ask a certain questions or if you use a certain word, then you're gonna then only then can it produce good results, else you're only gonna get whack ass copy or something like that. So yeah, you can sell course on that, but in this case you don't have to worry about prompting, figuring out, or trying to get it right. So by the way, whenever you use like quotes from the quotes in your copy, you're just trying to continue the conversation that's already going on inside their head, which is nice, but I didn't think get it right. Yeah, I get it. I get this one. You're just continuing the conversation. Like, how does this guy know? Right? You feel that sort of, so you feel the connection. Our 3-step conversational process make it easy, and from the sentence, simply start with one sentence like, I need help with writing a sales letter. Yeah, that is the big idea. The big idea for oJoy.ai is to write one sentence, right? I believe that is it. Or I need help writing social media content. That one sentence kicks off an easy conversation where the AI draws out your knowledge, your ideas, and learns everything about your business. Let it learn. Imagine you're working with a professional copywriter or ghostwriter. Now he's dimensionalizing it, right? Now he's here like solidifying the concepts. Like simply start with one sentence. Like it's somewhat similar to feature versus benefits. Like starting with one sentence is a feature. Like I need help writing is a benefit, right? And I mean, like it's similar to that. It's a similar concept. You're just you mention something vague, like simply start with one sentence. What does that mean? Now then you solidify it with example. Make sense? Okay. Same with here. Now it gives off an easy. So we're trying to tap into. Now there are 8 emotions according to Kyle Milligan. New, easy, safe, and big. And easy, new, easy, safe, and big. Only anybody, predictable, fast. Is it? It's new. Yes. It's only. Yes. Is it easy? Easy to use? Yes. Only anybody. Can anybody do it? Yes, you can see, right? But anybody in this case means like anybody who's a marketer, not like any beginner, right? Because if a random guy, let's say my dad, landed onto the space, he wouldn't know what he like. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't give two shit about it, right? Only anybody predictable. Is it predictable? It's predictable because why not? This is backed by the Franken himself. So yes, safe and predictable, they fall like they go hand in hand because they've got a free trial for the safe thing, and it's predictable to get good results because one, it's backed by Franken and he's constantly gonna post out more content. That way, you're gonna know how to write this how to like prompt it out and how to actually leverage this AI to the max. Next is fast. Is it fast? Of course, it's AI. AI is fast. We just have associated the fast emotion, the fast and easy emotion with AI. So they're just, tapping into the pre-existing emotions associated with the product. That's AI. And is it big? Big? Yeah, of course it's big. You're writing in one sentence. Like, come on, how big can it get? But it's not that the big emotion is also associated with AI because people once like AI actually dropped onto the face of the earth, actually meaning like it got out, like general people could access it. We knew something big is happening, something big is coming, and something revolutionary is happening, right? So this that. So overall, I've summarized the emotional aspect of the entire sales page in general. So and this all of the upcoming copy are just going to revolve around these 4 emotions, and of course there's the fifth emotion is urgency slash scarcity. Like that's the alter ego. Urgency is the whole thing. Now it's unique, it's ultra that's for the headline, let's not talk about that. But urgency, and now there's a natural urgency for copywriters slash there's a natural urgency for copywriters slash business owners and the target market. Because why? If your competition adapts to AI faster, then they're gonna get ahead. So there's one urgency to it. If your competition get at, or if the people who develop AI and software start getting better at it, copywriters or marketers could get replaced, or at least they would, it would dilute their value in the marketplace. So there's that as well. Let us continue. They will start by learning everything they can about you, your business, your audience, and more. This works the same way. It's like chatting with a friend. Okay, it's more dimensionalization element, right? It's like chatting with a friend. I don't know what is this called when you use like? Is it called like simile, like literary devices, something like that? Who's really good at marketing and writing? Step 3, let it write. So easy, right? You give it one sentence, you let it learn, you let it, acquire more information from you, and let it write. It's highly trained in direct response marketing and consumer. That's how it turns your ideas into high performing content that sounds like a pro wrote it, which is the ideal scenario or ideal position that the prospect wants to be in. Whether it's social post, sales letter, blah blah blah, it'll sound great. Now it's highly trained, meaning now it's predictable, right? That's how it turns your idea into that sounds like a pro. This is a desired benefit. Whenever, so it's like tying it back so that you're speaking in the ideal prospect's words, using words that the ideal prospect would, right? These are the words that resonate with them. Need sales now. If you're in a hurry and you need some high converting copy ASAP, it'll write it for you. Well, what happens when we tell it to write an email that sells DIY unicorn costume kits for $99? We could get great copy with one sentence and zero prompting. Wow. Just make it cooler. You wish someone just rewrite your stuff so it's cooler and converts better, but you don't really know how to describe what you're looking for. No, you don't have to. Just say make it cooler and it will. It's trying to position and trying to, shit on the alternatives, because what are the alternatives? At least now there's just ChatGPT and Claude, because these are mainstream. Jasper, Benson, and other AI like similar to this. These ones, like, not much, not a lot of people know about it. It's not that nobody uses it, but it does not have the same. They do not have the same level of publicity that ChatGPT and Claude do. If you were happy with the AI deals, you wouldn't be reading this. You're using now, you wouldn't be reading this. Valid point, right? This is different. Even if you have no idea, you'll get X when you're staring at blank, trying to just tell what you want, whether it's blah blah blah. The AI, it's like talking to your best friend, who's just supposed to be a marketing genius. It's like yeah, you're just making it so simple to understand. One who knows exactly how to uncover your best ideas, even if you don't think you have any. While you're having an easygoing chat, is on analyzing your answers and looking for marketing angles and opportunities. Thanks to his deep training in marketing and consumer psychology. Like this part, how I change it is I'm what the fuck, like how I changed this part, this, it has been deeply trained with marketing and consumer psychology. What I would use, except for this, is it has been prompted with $1 million copies, or it has, or we could get even more specific, like it has been prompted with copies that me and my group of copywriters or marketers have ran for endless hours on days on end. We've leveraged all of the controls in the marketplace that have brought in millions for our clients, for us and our clients, and which have been directly tested, battle tested, and something like that, right? We had this whole battle tested something analogy, I don't know, a day or two ago. I don't know, I forgot the, yeah, on Daniel Fazio's email. If they had mentioned about they prompted in $1 million copy for this, and so the why, right? The why can it do? How can it get me so great results? And why it is what it is? But it's just, you should have a point, right? You should just have it. It's not that you have to go deep about it and have a separate section like a long ass sales letter. You don't need that, because as all the whole ideology or the idea behind this is simplicity. So it has to somewhat transmute in whatever you say, or transmute in your sales pages itself as well. For example, if you're in a let's say, if you're in a hardware shop or something like that, and if, let's say, if you landed to a place where you wanted to buy bulbs, right? If you wanted to buy bulbs, and you go to this store and you see like the bulbs they have, right, is it's what, it's shimmering, what's the word, shimmering light, probably, yeah. you know eh, let's say their whole lighting system is fucked. Would you like buy from them? No, right? Because it's just, they're not practicing what they're preaching, meaning like they're not implementing themselves. Why should we, right? Why should we use their product? And same with this, right? Like, um that's that's a deeper psychological analogy, meaning like, yeah, they're saying it's simple, but their sales pages do not say that, right? Or something like that. It's not that obvious of a thing, and yeah, it's not that relevant, but it's still like people can feel it. you know it's the same like the store analogy that I just used. Like, you would kind of, it's like, I'm buying a new bulb. What does that have, like, what's the correlation between you buying a new one and them having a shimmering or one or two malfunctioning bulbs? or something, lighting system, something like that. But you're still gonna have a negative impression, right? So that's the whole point. Now that's a side analogy. It's not that important, but just giving you a sauce, man. You get it right. While you're having an easygoing chat, is analyzing your answers and okay, thanks for your deep training. Okay, wait, there we were. It spots valuable setting points you have missed entirely and guides the conversation to uncover even more. You can teach it to write like you or use any style of writing you just want by pasting in a few simple pages what others are saying. Social proof, right? I'm working on a 4-week post strategy. This rocks. Now, people say these days, you need to have video testimonials and video case studies. But for people like Frank, who have been in the space for 20 years, their experience, they are social proof in themselves. That's why you should stick to one thing, or you should be around for a lot of time, and people, you don't have to leverage on testimonials all the time. And even if like we know that he can fake the testimonials, probably these people are somewhat famous, or some maybe the ideal prospect should know about them. I don't. So I'm not gonna go on that, talk about those stuff. So try it free, get free access for a week. So you have all this stuff and you can get free, you can try it for free as well. It's not that hard. This is the offer, free trial. They're trying to sell the free trial. They're not trying to sell the whole software itself. And display visual elements, very essential these days. If you're not, if you're, let's say, if you're promoting a school community, right, and you're not mentioning the visual displays, right, you're not, whenever you're talking about the school community in your YouTube videos, let's say, and if you're like, if you don't have, if you don't get your editor to add some clips about your community, as you talk about the coaching aspects of it, the courses aspect of it, the fun, the community aspect of it itself, and it does not display the visual, does not have a visual representation of the stuff, it's going to be hard for people to imagine, right? But sometimes you can just leverage the words itself, but it's still good to have the visual elements because people retain more information visually. It's just people, like, there are different people perceive, or let's say retain information differently. Some perceive it better by reading, some listening, reading, like watching, something like that. So there's that. And okay, FAQ is just handling objections. Like whatever objection they have, you're just handling it. How much is it? Are any other costs? Can I cancel my trial? Is this like ChatGPT? What kind of, okay, so this is a question only a qualified person would buy. Like, is this a ChatGPT? Let's say if my dad randomly, let's go back to the whole point of my dad, okay? If my dad somehow landed onto this page, he'd know, like, do you think, would he know about this stuff? Like, is this like ChatGPT? He does not even know what ChatGPT is, right? What kind of writing styles does it have? Do you use my content to train your AI? No, that would be totally uncool. That would be totally uncool. Come on. It's not even illegal or something like that. It's just uncool. It wouldn't work as well. Okay, nice one. They give you the reason, right? Training our AI on all kinds of random content would mess it up and it wouldn't work as well. Nice one. I like this answer. I like that. Frank Kern's copy is great, but I don't think Frank is writing himself because he's too busy to write it himself. He's busy hosting the webinars and he's busy building the product. All in all, I hope you got the gist of it, and I hope this was somewhat valuable to you. It's valuable to me as well because I get to practice speaking in front of camera, given that my English is not my native language, and it helps me practice more. I hope you can tell that by now. Yeah, that's it. All I wanted to say, I mentioned, like, yesterday's video was hell of a lot more valuable than this one, and this one ties back to that one. So if you did not, like, if you straight up watch this one, you're not gonna understand the bigger picture, or you're, let's say, not gonna take in as much, you're not gonna take away as much value as I've given in yesterday's video. It could be like I'm the only one who feels that like I've given value and you're not actually like using it, or it does not come off that way to you. So anyways, it's been 30 minutes, and all in all, DDoS number 46 over and out. And tomorrow, DDoS number 47, I guess. Yeah, 47. Here we come. DDoS number 47.